Hello everybody, Father Frederick here. The movie I want to talk to you about today is Minari, a movie that came out in 2020, directed by Lee Isaac Chung. As always, spoilers follow, spoiler kyongo. This movie is about a Korean family that migrates to the United States and tries to set up their new life in the state of Arkansas. I am actually from the same area of the United States. I'm from Kansas. This movie takes place in Arkansas. They're pretty close to each other. I grew up on a farm when I was a kid. I understand what that type of life is like. And now I live in Korea in the city. They did a wonderful job portraying what life in the country in that area of the United States is like. It is true that suddenly the sky will turn green, and that means that soon after a thunderstorm will hit, and many times those thunderstorms turn into tornadoes. And so that scene when the family has to go through their first thunderstorm and tornado watch, that's what it was like growing up for me. I grew up on a farm. I was far away from everything. We had to drive at least 30 to 40 minutes to get to the nearest city. We had to burn our own garbage as well.
엄마, 이제부터 쓰레기를 우리가 태워야 해요? 2시간 남았지?
I also understand Korean culture. I live here in Seoul, South Korea now, and it's so different from the culture I had growing up back in Kansas. This movie gets a lot of the difficulties right. I mean, first and foremost, the language. I've had to learn Korean, and it's not easy sometimes. You get in awkward situations because you don't know the language. This happens to the family as well.
How long you been in town? Where you been hiding?
I'm sorry, my English is not so good.
Oh, it's okay. We'll teach you English. You're too cute.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
This movie isn't just about differences in culture. It's about differences in points of view. You see these differing viewpoints, especially in the husband and the wife, and then the grandson and the grandma. They see things differently, and they need to come together and try and understand each other in order to make this difficult situation of living in a different country more bearable. The parents fight sometimes, the grandma and the grandson say not so nice things to each other, but slowly they come together. The movie ends with a disaster of this family's barn with all their produce that the husband had been trying to grow for a long time, and he finally had a chance to sell it. That barn with all of his food burns down. Now the family is going to be put in a very difficult situation. They already had financial problems, and now their only hope just burned to the ground. And then the movie just kind of ends. They don't show that this family then lives happily ever after. They end with a disaster. Now, for some people, I know that ending, they're not going to like it because you just want to see a happy ending for a movie. But in this one, to me, it was still happy because I think the point of this movie is trying to make is that there's always going to be more difficulty. That's why I like the fact that this movie ends on that note. A disaster, and then it doesn't resolve it. It doesn't let you see the resolution. What it does let you see, though, is how this family decides that throughout all these difficulties and these differing points of view, they decide and they learn that how you get through them is by saving each other. You see the husband run into the barn, trying to save his produce, trying to pull it out so it doesn't burn down. And you see the wife, who vocally was against him being so focused on the crops and not so much on the family. She leaves her viewpoint aside and runs in as well and tries to help the husband. She tries to save him. As they're working to get all the produce out, there's so much smoke inside the barn that the wife gets lost. And the husband then puts aside his goals and his viewpoint and goes and finds the wife and saves her. And they both come out of this burning building, and together, holding each other, they watch the barn burn down. The happy ending of this movie is that the family has learned to save each other. And you know, hey, they're going to be okay no matter what happens because they've learned to save each other. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on the movie Minari. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to keep up with my future videos, make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell. I will see you next time.